locked into another episode of Loud About Nothing. It's me, your boy, the fucking hottest dude in the podcast game, Sebastian Conelli. And as always, per usual, we got the cute boy here himself, Robbie boy. Robbie, say hello to beautiful people.
What's going on, beautiful people?
I love this. You got your tie-dye. You're looking cute as shit today.
Thank you.
Nice little camp kid vibes. I love that.
Camp.
You
Very
got camp
campy.
kid vibes. I always feel like a counselor to you.
You do?
I'm gonna make you get high after this. It's gonna be awesome. Dude, I'm so excited for this guest. This guest is truly one of the funniest stand-ups in New York right now. He's fucking killing it. You could go check his specials out on YouTube. But please go see him at the Gramercy Theater here in New York, February 25th. He's got his own podcast. Here's the scenario. Give it up for Mike Catton.
Oh, thanks for having me, boys.
What's up? Thanks for coming on.
I'm jealous of both of your pop of color. I didn't even consider that this was a black backdrop, and now the only thing showing is my uneven skin tone.
Should we?
No, your white hair pops too.
Oh, okay, good,
Yeah.
good.
It's like
Got
a
little,
fake up.
Nice
It's-
little mountainscape right up top.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes,
little
it looks
Bob Ross.
good.
Maybe we should tell people black backdrop, don't wear black.
Yeah.
Should we?
Yeah, I guess this
Or are
is
we
this
too,
is an
Do I
off-mic
look?
discussion.
Do I look like a fool?
No, you look good. You look good. That man shirt looks
We'll
good.
Photoshop a nice green shirt right on top.
That's
of you.
good. Honestly, I'm 37 and a father, and I'm wearing an M&M shirt.
Incredible.
This is probably
Where'd you get
unacceptable. I got it off eBay, where I buy most of my clothing.
Class stuff.
Yeah.
That's mature.
Yeah.
You're like, I don't want new shirt. I want old shirts.
yeah,
Right?
dude. I want something that's already been on somebody's hot body, and and then I can it's worn in.
Is
Feels
it?
nice, yeah.
Did
Good
you
thread.
wash it when you first got it, or you
Yeah,
just, you
yeah,
put
dude.
it right on?
I'm not just trying
Skin
to
on
get
skin.
scabies right off of eBay.
Form a bond with them. Yeah. I've sold a couple things on like That's during the pandemic. I went through all my old clothes.
Yeah.
Because I was like I was a big kid. Thank God it wasn't just like instantly big, you know? I like slowly, this was a fade in, and all my clothes were like size large. So all of a sudden I had these starter jackets that were like,
Dude.
so expensive and
Yeah.
nice.
I would have
Yeah.
bought all of those off of you. That's
Yeah.
it. You sold, I bought. I spent the
Sure.
pandemic being a complete asshole, and I bought 4 vintage starter jackets.
Oh, wow.
What teams?
Portland Trailblazers. I bought this like parka, like the winter parka starter jacket.
Just the regular starter. Yeah,
Just
no
the-
team. Those are
dude.
dope.
So sick. I have this beautiful Knicks starter jacket pullover. I have like the satin vintage one. It was like just spending that $600 Biden check like an asshole.
Me too.
Yeah,
but
living
for
at my
me,
in-laws.
sneakers.
Oh yeah,
I
did that too.
Same exact thing. I was at home at my mother's sneakers, and my mom kept going, "What are the boxes? What are the boxes coming?"
Yeah.
And I wouldn't let them go in my room because I literally bought 25 pairs of sneakers.
That's beautiful. But you sold them? Did you?
No, they're all in my closet. I wear them when I have a show, or like if I have a date.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's the best part about living in New York too. Is you buy a nice new pair of sneakers, leave your house, and then immediately step in diarrhea.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's like sick.
Oh, my
That's good. Yeah.
the people around here are so bad with the dog shits too.
Mm-hmm.
It's, you know what? When I walk a dog, I don't pick up the shit. So my ex used to have a dog. I would never pick up the shit.
Yeah, you can't really hate that.
It's a good thing I'm the only one. This city would crumble if there were more of me.
So I'm totally like, yeah, I get it, but I get in
Yeah.
I'm a hypocrite. I'm a
yeah.
hypocrite, yeah, in that regard.
The fact that you're admitting it though makes you a likable person.
Oh.
Because the people that are in this day and age of everybody being as wildly self-righteous as I am,
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm also a complete ass that goes against everything that I say. But at least I admit to that. So I feel like there's virtue in that, or at least I try to.
Thank you.
That's
Oh
how
my
I
God.
offset my narcissism.
Yeah,
it's good.
Yeah. Do you? Yeah, I don't recycle.
Nice.
While we're
nice.
doing this.
While we're doing this, let's get a couple
I don't
more bad
recycle.
things
You
out.
litter. Yeah.
My definition of recycling has loosened. Like, just pending proximity. If I'm, like, cleaning out my car and I have, like, 58 Poland Spring bottles or something like that,
Sure.
and then also, like, 6 Starbucks cups,
Yeah.
those are also now plastic bottles.
Yep.
So I'm throwing them in with everything. There might be blunt guts on the inside of them, but that's for the recycler to figure out.
Oh my God, you smoke blunts, huh?
Yeah, like a fucking asshole.
You
dude.
are a teenager.
Yeah.
With an M&M shirt,
Yeah.
gotten blunts in your car.
Yeah. And I didn't, I mean.
What's going on?
At this point, it's like I've course corrected enough to where. So I just smoked a blunt for the first time in like 2 weeks. I've tried to be off. Like
Cool.
I'm really like I make proclamations all the time about I'm done with blunts. That's it. Can't do it anymore. And then, of course, it's the only thing I have left because I don't drink. I don't do any of that shit. So I just smoke blunts. But
you smoke them by yourself?
Yeah.
To the whole thing.
I did on the way here.
You smoked a whole blunt to the face.
Yeah, on the way here.
What do you bought? What a
Dutch Masters? Yeah.
Grape?
No, I mean sometimes on occasion if I'm feeling spicy.
That's a weekend thing.
Yeah.
Grape Dutch is
I'm
fancy.
the blue regulars.
The original.
I guess. Yeah.
Mature.
Yeah. We used to do vanilla Dutches, honey Dutches, the green ones, where because they would smoke super slow. But then you could feel it congeal in your lungs.
Ooh.
The honey sap / resin / lung cancer was all just kind of coming together. Yeah, it was brutal.
Would you ever rub honey on the actual blunts to slow it down? No. We would rub honey and then put it in the microwave for. It was the debate. Was it 4 seconds or 7 seconds?
No shit.
It was everyone had a different theory based on the neighborhood in Staten Island. How many seconds to keep the blunt in the microwave?
I mean, that's an easy way to find out if you have shit weed too, because the seeds immediately combust and just light the whole fucking thing on fire.
It's like a popcorn kernel. You take off the cancer paper though.
Yeah. I do that. I do the whole thing, and again, I'll do long stretches of I'll do the hemp papers, I'll do rolling papers. It just doesn't hit the same.
Sure.
You know what I mean? It a Dutch leaves a fucking imprint on your chest. It's somebody punching you directly in the sternum.
It's also you're doing something bad.
Yeah.
It feels good to do something bad.
Yeah. No, 100%.
And we set these lines for ourselves of what is bad, and we keep adjusting as we get older.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
So for me, it used to be only snorting one perk. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So now it's slowly adjusted to be what it is now.
Dude, the fact that somebody doesn't come up to me with a pill and I don't take it off their palm, eat it, and then ask what it is, I'm winning. I'm winning. I'm already better than I've ever been.
I've eaten antipsychotics by accident before.
I've done it on purpose. Seroquel. I took a Seroquel and drank a fucking...
That's exactly the one I took, too.
Yeah, I took a 6-pack of Twisted Tea to the face. Because that was our breakfast drink. Dude, I went from not drinking, thinking I was going to be in the NBA, to drinking Seroquel, or taking Seroquel and drinking Twisted Teas, and taking 8 of my friends' family photos off the wall because I just tried to grab onto something.
Oh my God.
Yeah, dude.
You are Basketball Diaries.
Yeah.
Yo, you are Leo.
Yeah, 100%. Except I should have figured it out earlier, like him.
Sure.
Should have blown a guy much earlier.
Not a guy, an Academy Award-winning actor, Forrest Whitaker. Okay, right. Isn't that who we blew in that movie?
I've never seen the movie. It's one of those I need to see it. It's got everything I love: blowjobs, guys, all that stuff. Leonardo DiCaprio. But I've heard so much about it that I can kind of quote the plot line.
Sure,
that's it.
Yeah, there's no point to watch it at that point.
I almost lied to you just to keep the conversation moving.
I lie about what movies I watch all the time. The Oscar movies just came out. Mm-hmm. I'm going to have an opinion about every single one and not see any.
For sure.
Every single one. I'm already taking strong stances.
Yeah. My opinion on movies is largely based on people's opinions on movies. And it's not even I don't take their opinion. It's whether or not I trust them or like them as a personal entity that I'm I usually hate your taste on something. So now I'm either going to go hard in the paint for that movie or against it.
Yes.
Based on your dog shit.
Does anyone actually see the Academy Award-winning movies?
Yeah,
Mike
definitely.
Feeney. My podcast co-host. I bet he watches. He tries his very, very best to probably watch 100% of them.
That's such a fucking eye roll to me.
Yeah.
No offense to Mike.
It. No, he's a film geek. He loves that shit. Yeah. And when he talks about it makes me want to throw up. But it very clearly brings a lot of joy to him. So I can't hate on it too bad,
When I was in college, I would do that. But I guess somewhere in the last 5 years, I was why am I watching all of these?
Right.
I would go to the movies and I would go to see them. I was it'd be cool to watch them. I want these directors' point of view. Then I was I don't. Yeah. This is all kind of just politics as far as Not
Oh,
like
for sure.
political, but
Can I
it's
tell
just
you
like
something?
what?
Right before you came here, we were walking around. He's on his computer. I walk behind him. I look at his
They
computer.
came out today.
Whoa,
They came
easy,
out
bro.
today. They came out
Let me
today.
just say what
Oh,
happened.
this is
They
great.
came out
Let me
today.
just say what happened.
Defensive before it comes out. This is
Always.
great.
They came out today.
Bro, I walk behind him. He's Googling movie times.
No.
Movie
Oh,
ti-
all right. This is true.
You
This
are
is true.
Googling
This
movie
is true.
times.
There's one movie I want to see.
You want to see the Oscar movies?
One movie. No, just one. And it's on HBO, so I don't.
House party?
No, it's called Banshees of Inisherin.
Isn't it on Netflix?
It's on HBO, but I
Okay.
want to go to a theater to see it because I like to watch a movie in a theater, and I haven't in a long time. But I was googling Showtime because I know
He's
it's like
looking up the Oscar movies for
no,
this.
not.
Might
That's the
get
only one I
live.
want
But
to
have
see.
you heard?
That's the only one I
Have you
want
heard
to see.
good things about that movie?
Yeah, I did hear, and it was also I liked
Like
In
Oscar
Bruges.
worthy,
Yeah,
like Buzz,
No, it did,
maybe?
it did get nominated. For, well, the Oscar nominations. But I wanted to see it before that.
Look at him.
I wanted to see it before that. The Oscar nominations did come out today, so I looked at the list of Oscar
Sure.
nominated movies.
And it helped remind
And
you that
only
you
one
wanted
of
to see
them-
that movie.
Yeah.
I want to see two. I think.
Oh, there we go.
I'll be honest. I want to see
You just
everything
see the
everywhere
list. Some
all
of
at
them are
once.
highlighted. The rest are just fuck no.
Yeah, I used to see all of them. What a loser I was. Now I only see 2 to 3. No.
This is nice if you like it.
No, I want to see
Yeah.
everything everywhere all at once, which people raved about.
Right.
And
sure.
apparently it was good. And this Banshees of Inisherin, I don't even know how to pronounce it. Inisherin. Did you see it?
He's
No,
Irish.
but I've heard a lot about. Speaking of Feeney, he hated it, which is why I know I'll like it.
Okay.
Oh!
Because we just have different sensibilities. It's
Sure.
not what's better or what's worse. We just completely have different sensibilities when it comes to movies. What he finds depressing, I find funny, and I think that movie in particular is an Irish black comedy. So it's
Yeah.
very gallows humor type shit, and I love that. And I think, and Feeney doesn't like it as much as I do, I guess. But so I feel like I'll probably enjoy that.
It's also the guy who did In Bruges, right?
Yeah, it's the
Yeah,
same.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's
that
the
movie's
same
dope.
Yeah.
director and then 2 stars, and I like In Bruges a lot. Last year I didn't see any of them, and the
You
year
don't
before.
have to, if
no,
if
just
you have
letting
hobbies,
you know.
I
No,
said
no.
I litter.
It used to be my hobby.
I throw the war bottles on the ground. He at least recycles them collectively.
Sometimes, yeah. But it's weird because Colin Farrell has my father's eyebrows and the other guy has my father's head.
I
Like
love
my-
the other guy,
wow.
Brendan
Yeah.
Gleeson.
Yeah, he looks like a hedgehog,
That's it. What type of eyebrows does your dad have?
like
that
just
you could-
real thick, pronounced, like Kevin Dillon eyebrows.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. I hope I have thick eyebrows. My grandmother lost her eyebrows.
You think you're gonna grow in?
I hope so.
Like,
I think they're
you're like, I hope
fading.
as I'm getting older, it just becomes something else.
I'm scared I'm gonna become one of those British guys with 4 long ones.
Oh yeah, that's Brendan. That is
Is it?
Sagalow. Did you not pay? Dude, watch his face.
Yeah.
Like when you talk to him, if you just look him in the eyes, he doesn't have eyebrows. He's like white Charlie Villanueva. Like he has no. It's like it's so strawberry blonde
Really?
that it fades in with the rest of his eczema, and you can't even. It's just that.
Him and I should go get them threaded.
Yes.
They had some texture.
Dude, it's some texture. Yeah.
One time someone said to me, they're like, did you get your eyebrows threaded? And
Mm.
I felt so good. But then I didn't know what to do. They're like, it looks really nice today. I was like, oh.
That's a Staten Island thing too, right?
The uglier the girl is, but the hotter she dresses, the more attracted I am.
Yeah. No, what do you mean? Paint a picture.
What's a hot
Yeah.
hot dress for you?
Like
Yeah.
someone that like shouldn't
That's what I meant.
shouldn't be super duper confident, but is, I'm really attracted to.
Okay.
Like someone that like is putting like a size too small really works for me.
Okay.
A size too small, like it's like they're just not buying clothes and gaining weight.
Yeah, yeah.
I find that very hot. The first moment I was attracted to someone, not the first, I mean one of the moments I
Sure.
remember was my friend Steven Panarese. Let's just fucking drop full
Steven
names.
Panarese.
Yeah, who knows?
Steve-O.
Steve.
Hey.
Steve, he was his mother would pick him up and she would wear the clothes that was one size too small.
Uh-huh.
And she had the biggest fupa I've ever seen. And I remember being like, that's it.
Yeah.
That makes me feel something crazy.
No shit.
And she would wear like the juicy or like a velour sweatsuit
Okay.
with a huge fupa and her belly sticking out. And it really did it for me.
Do you know,
Interesting.
And I was 8.
yeah.
I should be liking Sarah Michelle Gellar. But
Right,
I'm liking middle-aged women that are overweight.
I was all down blouse. I remember Miss Racine, my kindergarten teacher, which first of all, like, so I was in kindergarten,
Yeah.
I used to give my hot, like gorgeous teacher, 24 years old, probably fresh out of college. I used to give her foot massages
Oh wow.
during story time.
What?
Like where I would sit in front of her and just kind of massage her feet with a full-blown 5-year-old erection.
Oh my god! Wait, wait.
Yeah.
Shoes on or off?
Shoes off.
Oh wow.
Pantyhose on.
What? That's
Like-
even hotter.
The hottest shit ever. But like,
How did it come about?
I don't know. I must have just done it.
She was
must
like,
have-
I don't hate it. It's cute.
I guess so. I think she and then all the kids would kind of join in or whatever, and it was like, yeah, it's crazy. Like, you ever?
This woman was running a massage ring.
Well, this is the thing is like I've normalized this in my head over
course.
time, right? And I
Yeah.
tried to talk about it on stage as like kind of a quirky, like fun little fact about myself. And people's reactions, like you guys are comics, so you're just
Sure.
like, oh, that's crazy that you
Yeah,
were
yeah.
molested. But like everybody that I tell that is not in this, they're like, you were molested, like that is,
Sure.
or some.
Can we have fun with the
inappropriate-
molestation?
Right. Right. Yeah. I mean,
Can
maybe
we have a little levity around it?
Sure, it's the reason why I wouldn't let my mom touch me when her nails were painted.
Oh my god!
But still, it's
Sure.
fun.
Yeah, it is. Oh my god! And wait, do you like feet now?
No, so I'm not into like I don't like suck feet or even like play with feet or even request
I tried
feet
it once.
jobs. Is sucking feet?
Yeah. And the girl said, "What are you doing?"
Yeah.
I said, "Oh, my bad. I was just trying something."
That's nice. I mean, hey, if you're just like, oh, my bad, you caught me. I
Yeah.
don't know much of what I'm doing.
Yeah, and I never did it again.
That's the way to go.
Yeah, it was
So,
great.
You know, I just figured you might be into this, and now that I know you're not, I'm also not.
I'm also not.
Yeah.
I'm very much. What do you like?
I think I like eating ass. I've liked eating ass for I've been a hipster, like an ass eating hipster. For
It's mainstream. You're pissed.
yeah, everybody says that like, oh, I was into it before everybody, but it's like true. Like in high school, I was into it.
You ate ass.
And that was in the early aughts.
Wow.
Yeah, pre-social media, when that was normalized. You wouldn't even really bring it up to your friends. My friend
No.
Tim and I were like the only two people that kind of talked openly about it, and all my other friends were just like more or less horrified.
Did someone teach you about it? Or you see it in a porn?
No, I just liked it. Like it was just a thing that was near the other thing.
Yeah.
And because it didn't smell, like I'm not a shit guy. I definitely couldn't be into that. I wouldn't allow somebody to muddy me up like that.
No,
It's
no,
just
no,
not my
no.
thing.
Yeah.
But
You don't need to. We get it.
Yeah.
You don't have to say just not my
just a
thing.
slogging wet shit. But
I don't know. I'm a little different. I don't like
yeah,
it.
I'm just not one of those guys. So I for whatever reason, because it was there, I just like to explore the entire area. The woman I was with, the girl I was with in high school is my wife. And there was like, we've all been on and off, so we're not totally insane. But
Thank you.
Yeah, that's a
People-
good. That's
Yo,
good.
Yeah.
honestly, I do judge if someone's only been with one person their whole life.
yeah, I mean, to each their own, I suppose. But
Sure.
I don't think I would feel comfortable being the only dick my wife ever experienced.
That's a great way to think of it.
Like, there's just beyond my own experience.
Yeah.
There's a whole other world of dicks that like I needed her to peruse for her to feel for me to feel confident that this was
Yeah.
enough dick for her for the rest of her life.
That's nice.
Yeah.
It made you more sure on your own dick.
That's right. Yeah.
That's a great way to look at it.
Yeah.
You're mature.
Is that mature?
I don't know.
I
It's
think
kind of
so.
like I want you to tell me I'm better than other people. Right now, you can't do that, and
Yeah.
I need some
Oh, yeah,
more
you're right.
from it.
It's
That's fair.
egotistical.
It's definitely egotistical, but
It's funny.
shrouded in open-mindedness.
Yeah.
I got
yeah.
tricked with the liberal talk. I want a woman to be sexually out there.
That's
explore.
right. That's
So
right.
my dick's the best.
Just so I'm certain.
Yeah.
But let her have her fun.
So you like I like eating ass too, if I'm being
Yeah.
honest. I think it's fun. As a fat guy, you got to do something.
Sure.
I have to show up, and I have to do something to make it like, oh, you're with Sebastian? Yeah, you don't even know. You need to,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
and there needs to be an extra.
That's
like,
fun when there's a skill set attached to your name.
Yeah.
Like, oh, Sebastian. Oh, you're in for it.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Were you getting like reviews from the women? So you were saying you're not telling other guys that you're doing it, but are the women talking in your high school and like, oh yeah,
So
he
the
eats
weird-
ass, and like you might want to. I know you're on the fence about hooking up with him, but you should try it.
Interesting. I don't know if that got around really, because I only slept with 2 girls in high school, but I hooked up with a lot of girls. Like beyond that,
For sure. I only slept with 2, but I swear,
the man.
I made out a lot.
But like,
me too.
well, the sex was such a huge deal in my
Yeah.
high school. I don't know if it felt that way for you guys. I feel like it's less so now.
No, it wasn't really for. I mean, it was like people wanted to know who was hooking up or whatever,
Right.
but like I guess how many people you fucked wasn't necessarily like a
No,
huge
and also I
thing.
feel like the act of it is less like Mount Olympus than it was for me. Maybe I'm completely wrong, but it just
Yeah.
seems more normalized now as an option for teenagers, where
Sure.
they were still trying to teach us like, don't fuck. Like
I see
the
what you mean.
parents of free love and these fucking hacks, these boomer losers that were like doing fucking mind expanding drugs during music festivals are now in their goddamn cubicle trying to tell their children to repress every want, desire, and need that they have.
It's insane.
It's fucking nuts, and it spurs this. This is what it does. It doesn't fucking do anybody any help. Like,
Nah.
it's a nightmare.
Yeah, they literally used to give condoms out in secret envelopes.
No
They
shit.
wouldn't even hand them just straight condoms because you would have to go to the guidance counselor to get condoms, and you would have to ask.
Yeah.
And I would go there and ask. That's
They didn't
right.
even offer them. They didn't offer them
Really?
in my high school. No way. I don't. They were like purely no. The only condoms that I remember that I bought, and then after you have sex 3 times, you have to buy your next pack.
Sure.
But I bought a pack when I was in 7th grade as a joke. Like me and my friend Rob dared each other to go in and buy a pack, and it's not illegal for a child to buy condoms.
No, it's good.
Yeah, it's like
I'd say they should give, if at a certain age, they should just give them for free.
right. Yeah.
Right? If
Yeah.
someone's 15 and they walk in with condoms,
Yeah.
take it. You
Yeah.
need it.
And also, it's like, take whatever one. You don't need more pleasure, dude. Your dumb dick's gonna stay no matter what.
Yes.
Take a fucking hooded sweatshirt to put over your dick. You're gonna feel everything.
I know, like a 15-year-old walking up with ultra thins. Like, who you kidding, buddy? Okay?
It's like, I just need it as close to the real thing as possible.
If it's not raw, I can't fuck, but I'm not tested.
That's right, yeah. If you're in 7th grade and saying things like that, you should be arrested. Like, immediately incarcerated.
Yeah. For me, I was like, I was liked not having sex and getting head because I would last longer.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah,
still like
yeah.
at that age where I was like, not that I last longer now, I'm just not as insecure.
Sure. Yeah. No, now it's just like, well, you're bad.
Yeah.
I guess you didn't find time to finish in my window.
Here's the thing, we'll do a Google Cal, we'll set up when I come, and
That's
we'll
right.
make sure.
You know. Sometimes when it's funny because still, even now, my wife and I have been having sex for 22 years, which is wild. Like, over half of our lives each.
amazing.
But so we just know each other when we're doing it. And when I'll go down on her, it's to get her to finish so then I can have full green lights and I can come guilt free.
This is amazing.
This is what we were just talking about. This
Yeah.
is my
Talked
new
about this on
move.
Monday.
This is
It's
literally
the
my
only
new
move,
move.
by the way. If you want to be
Yes.
a guy that women don't talk about, like you're a fucking asshole
Yes.
in bed, just do that. Just handle your business
This
first.
is 100% my new move.
Bro, I have a vibrator.
Do you?
I
Nice.
pull out toys.
Good for you.
Yeah, fuck
Smart.
it. Who am I kidding?
Why not? Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah.
They
Just
do that
Batman's
at home.
utility belt.
Yeah, that's what we-
I 100% would.
Yeah, dude. Why not?
I don't like what does it matter?
You're showing them a good time. Again, something that's attached to Sebastian. Something
100%.
Like, dude, he pulled out toys. He was eating my ass. It was fucking bonkers.
Yeah.
His silver chain kept batting my clam back and forth. Just
Oh,
kept
you better
felting
believe
the
this
cold.
stays on.
Yeah, oh, yeah, of course.
I purposely hit the chin. Yeah.
Dude, when I was on steroids, that was like one
Wait,
of the
you on
like
steroids?
like shitty pro hormone steroids when I was in college playing basketball. But that was that was
okay, never mind. Yeah. Pussy shit, right?
Yeah. Well, on Staten Island, I feel like where'd you grow up?
Jersey.
Okay, so
right over the outer bridge.
New
very
Jersey
close.
is more or less Staten Island. It's similar.
Similar.
Where I grew up specifically was very Staten Island.
Yeah,
Similar.
So it just like it's juice head culture.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Still. And same with my town, like right outside the city, it's juice head culture. Our gym was called Body Quest. Everybody called it Sauce Quest because it was just everybody with fucking, still bleeding needle and wounds going and deadlifting while screaming. And
would you shoot it or would you?
No, I took pills, which is why it hurt me. It fucked up my liver really bad. Yeah, I almost died.
Wow.
Yeah, but what was the story I was even telling?
So what was I talking about?
The hooking up.
My
before.
chain.
Oh yeah, the chain. There's nothing that makes you feel more like a silverback alpha gorilla than keeping your chain on and just watching it bash into the girl's chin as you're just handling business.
Yes,
dude. I wouldn't even come to the girl. I would come to what we must look like.
Oh God,
almost like the Top Gun silhouette of my chain hitting her, and just me with her leg up, and I'm just look at how alpha I am.
I just imagine Christian Bale in American Psycho. I'm like, that's me, and meanwhile I'm just.
Yes, the amount of times that I would look into full-length mirrors while just fully positioning my body. Yeah, awful.
Were you jacked? Are you jacked now? I can't tell.
No, I'm getting back into okay shape. I played 2 years of college basketball and then I got hurt and I just didn't have it.
Where'd you play?
Yeah, I played junior college, Rockland Community College.
Oh, cool.
But we played all D1 insane talent that I didn't belong on the court with. Guys,
that's awesome.
Unreal. Yeah, it was a cool experience. But it just I did sauce because I was so out of my depth athletically that I was I need to get stronger and put hands on people, and it was just a fucking mess.
Yeah, a lot of kids in high school, I played football, JV, they were doing steroids.
Oh my God.
What the fuck is happening? Yeah. My one buddy, he was 16, he started driving, he would shoot steroids and then get 2 McChickens and 2 McDoubles and not work out.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Yeah.
And then we go get high.
Yeah.
It's what are you shooting steroids for?
Yeah.
And we'd all he'd purposely do it in the car for all of us. Mm-hmm. And we'd all be like, whoa, look at this.
And
they'd still, amazing.
Those guys were weird because I had a couple of those dudes that were still massive and big and strong, did not lift, but had that super roid gut, that power, where it had abs on top of a protruding belly, where you're it almost doesn't make sense.
That Rogan pick.
Yeah.
Before, when everyone's I don't know if you.
The 52 and 22 or whatever.
Yep.
Oh, that is juice gut for sure.
Oh, yeah. God, yeah. He has that huge, I get a lot
but
of.
But he talks about doing TRT and all that shit.
He does it with a doctor.
Dude, I would if I had that money.
Oh, please.
Immediately.
Urgent care's running up my bill right now. What are we talking here? I can't afford to sneeze.
Yeah, just have a gene splicer in your podcast studio.
Yeah, wow. That's, steroids. Did you get angry?
No, but I was an angry person, so it was hard to differentiate what was actual steroids and what I was going through as a kid. Because while I took steroids, my parents were getting a divorce, so 25 years of marriage. I was still living at home because I was in junior college.
And you were in an apartment?
No, we were in a home. We had a house, but it was divorce meets violent fights, all that shit. It was just a fucking mess. Mostly violent between my dad and I. We got into a fist fight. It was crazy.
You fist fought your father?
Yeah, crazy. I mean,
my dad, some Irish shit.
Yeah.
This is. You probably will like that movie.
Huh?
You will like that movie.
Yeah, dude. Nice boys don't fight their fathers.
No.
In fairness, he threw the first punch.
Oh wow!
You're in it.
Yeah. So I'll tell you this story. So we I was away. How did this start? I was away visiting my girlfriend at the time at Syracuse. And now my wife, actually. Nice. So I came home really excited, being I know where I want to go to school. Because the deal was, I got decent grades in high school, but the deal was if I went to junior college, my parents were facing financial hardship. They were we'll pay for whatever school you can go to. If you just give us this 2 years, we'll be fine.
That's
right?
Nice.
Yeah, nice. So they do that. They say that. I do the 2 years. I actually study. For the first time in my life. I had B+ doing nothing. Finally study. I have a 3.93 GPA. I can go kind of anywhere that I want with basketball and all this shit. And I came home. I'm I want to go to Ithaca. It's right near Syracuse. Had a great advertising department. Just I could play basketball there because it was D3.
It's SUNY.
No, it's not. It's private.
Oh, okay.
So justifiably, they were
Yeah.
Now that I'm left with the loans, which is kind of fast forwarding, but now that I'm left with the loans,
At least you married your wife.
Yes.
You know what I mean? That's the blessing. You
now
know?
that she's left with the loans. So I go there, I visit, and my dad is like, my parents are miserable in the middle of a divorce, all this shit. And I tell my mom I'm excited, and he's like, fuck you, only Sunni. Like immediately aggressive, alpha, like fuck you kind of. I'm like, what the fuck? And I'm like, no, fuck you. This was a promise. We get into each other's face. It's like a crazy, like he is beat red, and he's a giant, like 6'2", 280, big Irish motherfucker. You know, and he's the smallest of his brothers. All of his brothers are like 300 plus, 6'5", just like giant mix.
Wow.
Yeah.
What freaks?
Yeah, dude,
I hate those types of people.
truly
Ew.
ghoulish people.
Stinky.
So my dad's like beet red, Alec Baldwin, sweating, frothing from the mouth, like that kind of like in my face shit. And I'm gassed. I am on D-ball. I've been waiting for this moment.
D-ball.
Because dude, like the pro hormone equivalent, I think it was M1T or methyl D, one of those. At least one listener is like, I took that.
Hey, we got
So,
I think
yeah.
our
Maybe more than
audience,
one.
I think a little more than
For
one.
sure.
La Bridget
For sure.
Tunnel.
So, you know, I'm like, I have a lot of problems with my dad anyway also, and this was like just kind of the boiling point. So we're screaming in each other's faces, and I'm like, fuck you, pussy, like eye to eye with him, like you just do not intimidate me anymore, dude. Wow. And he was like, oh no, and like went to uppercut me, like didn't even really take a step, like more of like a hitch kind of like twist of the body thing. And again, I am T1000 on steroids, ready, willing, and able for this. I see that out of my peripheral, chop down on his forearm and like give him a dead arm immediately. Like I've never done any of this before. Just pounded down, perfectly timed, right on his forearm, deadened it, and then I like crow hopped like a right fielder throwing to third.
No.
Dude, crow hop and punched him directly in his fucking giant Irish head. What? Just like flush as shit, never connected with anything better in my life. He stumbles back, doesn't fall, regains his balance. I ran away. I ran out of the house. I was like, oh shit. I had never seen somebody absorb that type of punishment and just kind of like keep fatly moving forward. And I was like, oh shit. So I ran away. I drive to Villanova to visit my buddies, one of which is now dead, R.I.P. So visit my buddies. I go down there and I drink for like the first time. Like I had drank for like, you know, a handful of times. I went to Ireland to play Gaelic football earlier in my life. Drank as of like sheer cultural whatever. Sure. And then, you know, none in high school, none in college because I thought I was going to be in the NBA. And then I went and did this visit. I was like, fuck it. I'm going to drink, and I'm going to drink like these guys who have been training drinking while they're away at college. Yeah. And I can hang. I can do that whole thing. So I drink with them. I'm immediately like out of my mind. I get put to bed within like an hour and a half of this party. Totally. Like upstairs in some girl's bed, like that I don't know. I'm at a party off campus. I don't know them. Like an hour and a half later, I'm woken up by like four girls, like that scene in fucking Inglourious Bastards, like Brad Pitt, like their heads are just like popping over me, and I'm like, oh,
except it's Becky and Ashley.
Yeah, and they're like, what are you doing here? And I'm like, I don't know where I am. So I get up. I like instantly. You ever get up too fast, but especially when you're blackout drunk? Like you're so fucked up.
You like lose your balance.
Dude, I got up so fast. I slammed into her wall immediately. Half stumbled, fell down the steps. I'm like walking through the party. I recognize nobody. Yeah. I don't know anybody. My 2 friends are gone, or my 3 friends are gone. I don't know where the fuck they are.
Boyfriends are like that.
Yeah.
You'll get blacked out drunk. All right, see you tomorrow.
Yeah, well, he'll figure it out.
He'll figure it out.
He won't get raped.
No,
it's
fine.
Yeah, it's
fine.
It's fine.
What worse? He gets arrested.
Yeah.
All right, I'll see you tomorrow.
Well, fast forward again. So I'm in the. I'm walking through the party. I recognize nobody. I'm like half growling at people, trying to ask them questions, and they're like, "Dude, you are an imposition." And so I'm like half funneled out the back door. I'm in the backyard, and I'm like, I have to piss. So I pull my pants down like a fucking kindergartner going to the bathroom, like fully down. Ass out. I'm pissing and then throwing up at the same exact time. Liquid's coming out of everywhere. And I hear, hey, man, what's up? And I look over, and like across the yard, right by the house, is this giant silhouette. And it looks like my buddy Tim. I'm like, oh, Tim, is that you? And he goes, yeah, man, come out front. I'm like, all right. And I finish throwing up, finish pissing. I pull up just my underwear. I waddle over to this guy with my jeans still around my fucking ankles. No. As soon as I get about this close, I see the glimmer of his badge, and I'm like, fuck. I'm like in and out of blackout, right? Like, and he just grabs me, brings me out front, immediately throws me on the hood of his car, cuffs me up, and they're like, all right, let's breathalyze you. And I'm like, yeah, breathalyze me. What are you gonna get? What are you gonna
Good luck, buddy.
Just forgetting that I'm 19. Totally forget it. I'm like, yeah, what are you gonna do? What, are you gonna get my breath? Oh, you're gonna capture my breath? It's just ridiculous. And so they breathalyzed me, and I only know this from what people were telling me. But he said, or somebody said, that I blew a .4. Wow. Which I don't, in hindsight, I don't know if I believe, because that just seems like death. Like, it seems like I'd probably be dead.
100%.
But the cop was telling people that I was legally blind. Like, he kept telling people that.
Wow.
Yeah. And so he's saying, like, I'm like, okay, like, can I go? Can you just give me a ticket? And can I go? I was just in the backyard. Like, this is all kind of bullshit. Yeah. And he's like, we're going to take you into the drunk tank unless you have a friend that's over 21 that we could release you into their custody.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right. So I call my friend Tim, who is 19. And also shit-faced.
Sure.
And I'm like, hey, man, I need you. He's like, okay, I'm right down the street eating pizza. I'm like, yeah, I got something to show you.
Didn't tell him.
Didn't say that there was a cop or anything like that.
Good for you.
I don't even know if I knew there was a cop there. You know, I'm just out of
blind.
I'm just perfectly blind.
Bring me a slice.
You got to see what I'm not seeing.
Yeah.
So he comes, and the cop's like, you're 21, and my buddy, with like no hesitation, hands his brother's ID. Like, immediately. His brother's ID. Boom. Passes. The cop gives me back all that, all that shit.
Yeah. Wow.
So I get brought into the house. I wake up the next day, and I have the worst anxiety I've ever had in my entire life.
Sure.
I've never had that. I've never blacked out. I've never drank. I've never really even had a hangover.
Yeah.
So I'm just ill-equipped to deal with these feelings. And I'm like, trying to hang out. That was Thursday night, I think. So I'm like trying to hang out on Friday. I'm staying the whole weekend. And I'm like trying to hang on Friday with that anxiety, and I'm like in dorm rooms, like, yeah, we are having fun. Like just miserable, white knuckling the entire day, and I'm like not drinking because I don't want to feel this way again. I don't want, all that stuff. And so I make it to Saturday, and I just freak out, and I'm like, all right, I'm driving home. So I drove home. And on the way, I saw the ticket, and they're like, by the way, like, in fine print, it's like a second copy will be mailed to your home. And I'm like, fuck. Oh, actually, this was Friday. I'm sorry. This was still Friday as I had the anxiety. So that Friday, I read that, and I called. I called their office because somebody picked up. That's how I know it was Friday. So I called the office, and I was like, hey, you don't need to send that second copy. I'm good. I got it. I'm going to pay.
I made my own copy.
Yeah,
We're good.
We got so many copies.
Yeah.
It was $678 fine, too.
For what?
For underage drinking and public intoxication. Okay. And my license got suspended for 3 months in Pennsylvania. So I was like, yeah, thanks for the favor. I'll never be back. Of course, that was like my first 3 years of comedy is just touring Pennsylvania.
Sure.
So
sure, it's a lot of PA.
Yeah. Oh, so much
I'm going
PA.
this weekend.
Yeah. Hell yeah. So I call, and they're like, yeah, totally. No worries. And then so Saturday I go home, and my mom is waiting on the I didn't even tell her I was coming. She was just outside with a FedEx in her hand. So they had overnight FedExed the fucking copy of the thing.
That's expensive. What the
as
fuck
a
is
pure
going on?
Fuck you
to
the kid that not only was probably an asshole to these cops, but then also called to try to be like outsmart them, like, oh, I'm good on the second. Like they've never heard that before from some college kid. And I get home, my mom's like, what the fuck? I can't believe you. You're an alcoholic after all your father and blah, 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 all this shit. And I'm just like, this is like kind of my first time drinking. Like, she's like, plus you don't have a job. You're playing basketball. How are you going to pay for this? And I was actually playing poker for a living at the time.
Oh wow.
I love how you'll just drop a line that's a whole plot of a movie.
This is the most interesting time of my life. Like it's just all of my stories are kind of packed into this one era, and then I have not lived since.
That's good.
yeah.
You just smoke blunts and remember.
Yeah, just smoke blunts and be a dad now. That's it. That's somebody else's stories now.
Yeah.
So I'm like, my mom screams. She's like, "What are you doing? You can't even pay for this. You don't have a job." So I go upstairs and I grab $10,000 in cash.
Oh wow.
And she had no idea.
She had no idea.
Whoa.
And I fan out 700, and I literally go, "Keep the change, you fucking bitch." The whitest asshole upper middle class kid thing to say to his mother, like, "Keep the change, you fucking bitch." My mom's like, "Oh my God, what is this? Are you a drug dealer?" And like all proud and noble. I was like, "No, I'm a poker player." And she's like, "That's worse. That's fucking worse." She's like, "You're dealing with moms. You don't even know you're in so much danger, blah, blah, blah." And my mom goes to my dad, who's like half sleeping in the living room with the remote under his chin so nobody could take it away from him, sleeping. And she's like, "Kevin, your son has $10,000 in cash. What do you have to say to him?" And my dad kind of sleepily ambles into the room, and he's like, "Oh, well, pay for college yourself, you fucking asshole." And then just walked into his room, and we never brought up the punch, the nothing, the money, the poker. None of that ever got brought up again.
Wow.
Ever. That is Irish. that is Irish.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a fucking story.
Yeah.
That's incredible, man. Jesus. That's one of the that weekend forms who you are.
Right?
Really
entirely.
You could take a break from living then.
For sure.
After that, weekends like that,
Well, and then I kept I didn't drink right away after that.
Well,
but
your
then
liver, if you take in steroids, you can't be drinking.
Yeah,
like that.
and I also still had delusions that I was gonna play basketball at the next level, and so I ended up. What happened with the steroids is I was squatting in a Planet Fitness, and I was alone. And I was just by myself, repping 225 like a fucking beast. I came up and heard a pop, and I got a hernia. My ab tore and my groin tore at the exact same time. Oh. And the weights fell on top of me, and I threw up all over the floor. Dude, I must have looked like Jacob's ladder collapsing under these fucking weights, just boom, fell. And the weights, thank God, didn't fall in an awkward could kill me way. They just fell off my back, and then I'm just and
just
spewing,
and then the lunk alert goes off.
Not my Planet Fitness. Somebody comes over with a free pizza. They're like, "Maybe you need this."
Have you tried snacking?
So and then I went to a doctor, and they told me that my liver was basically down to red alert. This is potential death.
And you're 21.
19.
Oh,
19,
shit.
Yeah, 19, 20. And I told him what I was on, and he was like, "Dude, it's because not only was it not it's not refined steroids. So these steroids that I got were actually sold over the counter. So they're an anabolic pro steroid that function as regular steroids, but they sell them over the counter while they're going through the FDA process. And then they fail, they take them off, they change the label and a molecule, and then they do the whole thing over, sell it again for a year, do the whole thing over again. These things still
they're
are
working
around.
the system. It's how you could buy all these drugs in China because they're one molecule off.
Yeah, exactly.
And it fucks you. What's that weed that everyone was smoking for?
K2 spice. Yeah,
and people were dying,
making people insane.
Yeah, I watched the Vice doc on that. It was can't people smoke weed? I smoked K2 once because my buddy was on probation. God. And so, because he couldn't smoke regular weed, he's like, "I'll smoke this because it doesn't show up in drug tests." And we got so fucked.
Oh my God!
I was I felt insane.
Yeah. I smoked. I've never smoked K2, but I did smoke salvia once. It didn't work though. And I've smoked DMT, and I've tripped. I'm a big fan of hallucinogens, and actually look at it more as a
healing.
Not even medicine or whatever, but it genuinely helps my mental state. So I'm not at a party getting fucked up on shrooms.
No, yeah.
But that when I smoked salvia, it did nothing to me.
Interesting.
And then I've watched all those YouTube videos of people hitting it and like losing their mind and basically comparing it to DMT. And I was like, man, I must have had a shit batch.
I smoked salvia for like 2 months straight in high school.
2 months straight? Nice.
Yeah, it was incredible. I smoked salvia out of a water bottle next to a hot tub for 2 months. It was incredible. There was a kid, because it was legal for a while.
Yeah. And they sold it in bodegas.
Yeah, it's like Kratom,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
So
that'll be illegal soon enough.
try it now, kids.
Yeah. Kratom. Are you having trouble sleeping? Dude, I took 1 pill of Kratom and I was like, oh, my back feels awesome. And then I took 2 and I was like, I was like, Jesus Christ, dude. I'm nodding with a hot spoon in my pocket.
So this kid, he bought a bunch because he was like 18 or something. And so he was selling salvia to all the kids, and he fell asleep in class. I'm like, pass me his backpack. I tell like some loser kid, go give me his fucking backpack. And I steal all the salvia from his backpack.
Some loser kid?
I mean,
Your delivery boy?
I thought who I was. You know what I mean? Some fucking herb. I'm like, yo, give me his fucking backpack. I thought I was Tony
You couldn't even
Soprano.
steal it yourself. Yeah.
Hey, listen to me, buddy. Give me the fucking backpack right now, okay? Don't worry about world history. So he passed me the backpack. I steal all the salvia. And then, literally, the most aggressive way to do a hallucinogen ever. And the guy goes to me, and goes, I know you stole my salvia. I go, yeah, and what are you going to do about it?
Wow. Yeah.
And then I would
That is
just...
Staten Island enlightenment right there.
100%. Something that opens your mind to heal you.
Yeah, connects you to fellow people, and you're like, what are you gonna do about it?
Yeah, I was like, step to me, bro. Yeah, I'm getting high every day.
That's
Going
the
to different
best.
dimensions, you know? It did no healing.
Oh, that is the best.
And we would just smoke it out of a water bottle, and we would just stare. It was amazing. I would just stare at my friends drooling.
Oh my God.
And then we'd all just take turns drooling in front of each other.
Yeah.
That's what salvia was.
That sounds like my buddy used to do ketamine a lot, and they would have ketamine parties.
Yeah,
and he
yeah.
would like kind of, come out of his thing and see somebody else operating in their K-hole. And he was like, it was a fucking nightmare, dude.
Yes.
Like literally people doing almost the robot in there.
It's so, like, drug culture like that is so weird. Or like to
Yeah.
think about like how I would sit in a basement and we'd all just nod out.
Yeah.
That was a good night.
You found your community.
Yeah.
It's no different than church. To
Totally.
be honest, it's not. It's
No,
the same exact thing.
I had something to do every day.
Yeah.
Besides the
Like-minded
drugs,
people.
I was out of trouble.
That's right. Yeah. You were searching for something, clearly.
And when I would find, I would feel accomplished. It was amazing.
Less kid fucking, to be honest. So yours is a more moral pursuit.
1,000%.
Yeah.
So more priests should be snorting pills.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe it would make them fucking fall asleep before they could penetrate a child.
But salvia, because I did shrooms and acid, and I tripped, but like emotionally I would get scared, or like the visuals acid were cool, but like salvia truly took me to a different dimension.
Right.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It's
Which-
a disassociative.
Yeah, and I never experienced anything like that, but I truly didn't feel like I was a human being anymore.
Yeah.
And people talk about that, like how they joke about how you get high from weed or shrooms. That was the only time I ever felt not attached to my body and somewhere else.
Yeah, I did DMT. And
How'd you do it?
So first I did a pen. I couldn't break through.
Okay.
I was
just
like-
friends or?
Yeah, with my buddies.
Yeah.
I was with the pen. I was left with this like the most insane metallic taste on just the part of my lip where it was touching.
Oh.
Like it was so weird and specific. I'll
Yeah.
never forget it. It was like truly going down on the Tin Man, like that,
Sure.
like that
Oh, yeah.
fucking metally.
Yeah.
It was so gross. And then we smoked changa, which
What's
is
that?
it's a root that has been soaked in DMT, like synthetic DMT.
Okay, cool.
Or synthesized DMT. I shouldn't say synthetic.
Yeah.
And then it dries, and you can hit it like weed. Because with regular DMT, it's almost like crackish, where you can't even touch the flame to it. You have to like almost evaporate it into your lungs. And I don't know about you, but like holding a crack pipe while making sure a flame is a certain distance away is hard to do with reality deteriorating right around.
Yeah.
You know what
help.
At this point, I've hit enough bowls where that's muscle memory. I can do that through being shot.
Totally.
You
Yes,
know what I mean? Like
1,000%,
it's fine. So I took the first one. I took like two rips. You're supposed to take maybe 3, but you like inhale for a couple seconds, hold it for like 6 seconds, then exhale.
Yeah.
And then like I was taking a little reluctant hits, but I was shot.
Sure. I would be
definitely in the
scared
spin.
too.
Yeah. Yeah.
That shit scared. Like, it's so weird. I was so brave when I was younger with that shit.
Yeah. I mean, this was I was probably already 30.
You
Oh,
were.
wow.
Yeah, I think so. Because all of my, especially psychedelics, they've broken me from my like Irish Catholic shit. Like,
That's good.
I'm fully out on that stuff. I think it's
That's nice.
Yeah,
It's nice when you're
Actually,
fully out.
really
yeah.
nice.
Well, and
It
it's
is.
not
I
even
feel
just
like-
like
we should do a new 23andMe.
yeah, right. They're like, you're from Jupiter. Like, yeah, hell yeah, it's me and Lil Wayne.
Yeah. Wow. Yes, thank you. What a 12-year-old reference.
Well, Lil Wayne's more on Jupiter now than ever, I would
Yeah,
say.
Yeah.
The codeine is fully settled in.
And when you disappeared, when you went to another plane, what'd you see?
So the first one was like really fast, almost too fast to kind of fully appreciate or even absorb.
Yeah.
Like all I remember was it slightly echoing, let me show you how deep this shit goes. Like a sort of thing where it was showing me all these levels and different directions, and it was not linear at all. So with that, I like, you try to make some abstract meaning out of all of this stuff. And for that, I was like, that helped me actually deal with like comedy and how comedy as a career is not linear. You hope that it is, and you think you reach these certain check marks, and then you're on to the next check mark, but it's not. There's all these different off ramps. There's all these different distractions, all these different like successes that you didn't necessarily anticipate or aim for.
Yeah.
So it's weird, but that DMT message allowed me to be kind of okay with that, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it was like, that's actually really nice because
Yeah.
it's sometimes hard because I see all those graphics like this progress looks like this, like the
Yeah,
bullshit,
yeah.
like it's
Yeah,
like a
yeah.
chart going up and down. But sometimes you see that you go, what the fuck? I
No,
know.
it's like any other fucking inspiring quote over a beach sunset. It's
Sure.
like,
Yeah.
fuck this and fuck you. Like,
Until it hits you.
Yeah, of course. You have
Yeah.
to go. I am an idiot, so I need to physically be dragged through difficult times for me to learn anything.
Yeah.
So it didn't even dawn on me, really, that helped me with comedy until, like, recently.
Interesting.
Yeah, where I was like, oh, that's kind of what that was. That's cool.
Oh, that is
Yeah.
really cool.
And then the second one, I felt more confident because I knew what to expect.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I took 3 huge,
Yeah.
sweeping hits, and like the third one, it's funny, man, because I'll never forget this. It was in my mind's ear, so it wasn't. I didn't hear it from out here. It was in like my heart and my being. But as I took the third hit, I heard reality go, and like a transformer changing. Like break down and dissolve in front of me, and it was black nothing, and I was nothing. I had just perspective of everything, but I could see 360. And it again took me through all these different things, showed me the levels for a little bit. Weirdly, like primary colors were a big part of this. I was following a trail of primary colors. Then a circus tent popped up, which probably like about me being a clown or,
Sure.
whatever. And then the It clown, I think just because I had seen that movie recently, came across. But then weird shit. So
Tim Burton or the other?
the new one. The new
Too
movie.
bad, that
Yeah,
sucks.
I know. Just that,
I'm gonna be Tim.
that guy's dumb face.
Yeah.
He's like, hello, Georgie. Fuck you.
Yeah.
So then I saw like what I thought was a silhouette of a head facing sideways, and I was like, "Is that Steve Bannon?" Like that's the thought.
Oh, wow. It was that. It was
Now we
that
know
time.
when you did it.
All right.
Yeah,
now
I was
we
like, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's weird. Why am I
Damn.
seeing? And then it rotated, and it was my dad. And my dad has the exact head of Steve Bannon. That made me realize that. But that Irish
Yes.
fucking
Yeah, that
puffy fucking head. And my dad was looking at me, and I was looking at him, and then his head stretched and snapped and tore in half in front of me. And then it took me to about 100 other of my life traumas and problems as a symbol of them and ripped them up right in front of me. Like, boom, this, boom, this, boom, this. Exploded them like balloons in front of me. And that was like kind of let these things go maybe. Which, again,
Yeah.
I did not at that point.
Sure.
It took me still like 5 more years to even have conversation with my dad, to him like being at distance and okay grandpa for my son, like all that stuff. It took me a really long time. But then and then I like came out and I like looked at my buddy and his girl, we were all doing it together. You got 2 spotters. You can't do it all at the same time. It's
Sure,
just
yes,
too
of
much.
course, yes.
You need somebody on Earth
Yeah.
to buzz the tower if something goes bad.
You meet your buddy in the other dimension.
Yeah,
Fuck,
like,
bro, I
what are
couldn't
you
wait.
doing?
I couldn't wait.
Sorry, you looked like you were having so much fun.
What's up? Let's hang though.
It's just riding an electric octopus. I'm like, God damn it. So I look at him, and his back is turned to me. And I'm like, oh, what the fuck? Like, that's weird. And he kind of like gives me a look over his shoulders, like kind of, and then he like remains back turned to me. And I was like, what the fuck? I'm here. Wait, I just did DMT. Like, what's going on? And then I was like, oh, it's not done. And I was still in it. I had just opened my eyes and shot up because I was eyes were closed and I was laying down.
Yeah.
And he knew I was still in it. And then I laid down and I kept my eyes open and I saw the blue lady, the divine feminine.
That everyone talks about.
That everyone talks about, which, listen to Shane Moss. He's a really great comic that talks a lot about like the science of the brain and psychedelics, that it could be like just brain patchwork that we're all reacting to similar stimulus and it just fills in the gaps, and that's what we see as human animals. But if you want to get weird and spiritual about it, it could be some other shit.
Yeah.
So I saw her and I'm like, whoa, and she was just kind of looking at me and we were looking at each other, and she was breastfeeding a kid at the time. And at the time I was like, fuck, my wife's pregnant. Like, I immediately was like, wow, that's what that is.
Wow.
And it turned out that she wasn't, not for a long time.
Oh, okay.
But again, that was something that kind of laid the foundation of like me being okay with having a kid.
Yeah.
I went through this real derelict phase where I was like, nobody can love me, man. That cynical bullshit comic thing.
Sure.
Where you're like, no, I'm a loner and I'll fucking push away warm love and happiness and I'll just like do this thing, and that like opened me up to being okay with that and knowing that that's something that I want and love and, blah, 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 all that stuff. And then I woke up and then I came out of it. And I felt like I could jump over a car. Like,
wow.
Truly,
Felt great.
I felt unbelievable.
Were you scared while it was happening, though?
No, there is no anxiety
because
at all.
I get scared on shrooms.
Me too. Yeah.
You do?
Me too. Yeah. Acid is a bit more euphoric, but
yeah, I kind of know I'm tripping on acid. Shrooms, I'm like, I'm stuck in this emotion.
Well, in shrooms, sometimes it gets really slippery because you don't feel like you have full control. Like sometimes when I laugh really hard on shrooms, I go to another place. I almost tumble into another dimension, and I can feel my body lose control in this realm, and then I kind of have to bring myself out of it.
Sure, you're constantly like snapping
like
at
checking yourself. Like, oh, am I still okay in this reality?
But acid's like, whoa, can you believe this is happening?
Yeah. And it's just like very for me, it's social, and it's like cool. You could talk to people.
Sure.
But yeah, for some reason on DMT, I came out of that and I was like, dude, I could like. Kobe Bryant commercial, a fucking speeding Lamborghini. I could leap that in a heartbeat.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that was kind of cool.
That's fucking awesome. Yeah. Wow, you're very interesting.
I once was.
No, you still are, because you're still like dealing with that shit and thinking about it.
Yeah,
that's
definitely.
Fucking awesome.
Yeah, I mean that stuff leaves a fucking mark.
Yeah,
especially because it's true. I have and still am just desperately searching for some sort of answers or guidance because of my relationship with my parents and specifically my dad. So that helped, and then also having a kid has helped. Because it has taken complete power away from any authority in my life, where it's like I don't look at my parents as my parents anymore. I'm the parent now. You're people that I take care of, like sometimes, or I see, I love you very much and I'm grateful for what you've done, but like you don't lord over me in that principle sort of way anymore.
I have something bigger.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
Yeah.
This was awesome, Mike.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys.
Thank you.
Sorry if I talked a lot. I mean,
no, great stories
on my way here.
Please, what are you talking? We talk all the time. I was so excited that you could do this.
Yeah, man,
I
thanks for
DM'd
having me.
you like a year ago or something because I
did
just
you?
watched your special.
Oh no shit.
The Crowdwork special where you and I was like, yo, this was dope.
Oh, I appreciate it.
I got high and I watched it and I was like, and you know when you're high and you're like, let me just DM him.
Yes,
See on
yes,
this
I
dude
do.
and be like, yo, that was dope.
He'll like to hear that this is good. Yeah, and I did.
So
For
yeah,
sure.
I think you're mad funny, and
I appreciate
this
it,
was
man.
awesome.
Yeah,
You're
thank you
so
guys for
interesting.
having me. It's so fun.
Plug the dates.
So yeah, February big one is February 25th in New York City at the Gramercy Theater. Tickets are selling and they're gonna be gone fast. So please get those. MikeCannonComedy.com. And here's the scenario: it's a podcast, super fun. It's me, past guest Brendan Sagalow, potential future guest Mike Feeney.
Love it.
And and we
After the Oscars, I don't want to hear that bullshit. He's not coming on bringing bullshit over here, okay? You caught the vibes.
you should have him on as a pre-Oscar Oscars coverage.
You think so?
Yeah, just break
And I'm
down
just
all
annoyed
of
the
them
whole
and
time.
just live it.
He would love that, huh?
Imagine he's like, I haven't seen a single one. I just attach this to him for no reason.
Oh, yeah, so check all that shit out. Robbie, what do you want to plug?
What do I want to plug? We have dates coming up. 2-3, The Bitter End. We're doing a show, which is cool. In Vermont, we will be there. Burlington, Vermont, 217, 218. We're doing Vermont is Phenomenal. And then 224, we're back in New York. And we have a show at Caveat. New York is Phenomenal.
Is that the pod? Do you guys?
It's like an improv show.
Oh, nice.
We do like a mixed improv show and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, interview, improv, stand up. Yeah, you should come do stand up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
do it. Yeah.
we'll get
Yeah,
you on.
yeah.
Sagalo did it too.
Yeah,
yeah, it's dope. Beautiful. Yeah, follow me on all that shit. Yeah, keep sharing the clips. We really
and the
appreciate
beanies.
it.
Plug the
Oh
beanies.
yeah, buy the beanies, guys.
Yeah.
What
We're
the
doing
fuck
a
you
horrible job of selling them.
We're doing really bad.
We're doing no marketing. We
We're
have
gonna
no
post about it.
marketing.
Please.
That
But
pitch is
please-
bulletproof. You're like, guys, buy the beanie.
It's
Yeah,
cold
what
as
are we
hell.
doing? It's cold. Buy
Yeah,
a
we
beanie.
thought they would sell themselves a little more, but we have not done a single post about them.
You know what I'm learning? If you're like, oh, we'll sell merch but not talk about it,
Yeah.
no one buys it. Yeah, also, if you see us on the road, we sell beanies. Also, if you're coming to my Sunday show, let me know if you want to buy a beanie. I'll bring beanies there. Yeah, whatever you want. Cool, Robbie. Hit the fucking music.